Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jola Bagayoko. I am a Southern University System Distinguished Professor of Physics, and Southern University is a historically black Caucasian university in the city of Baton Rouge, the capital of the state of Louisiana. And this is a university where Mr. Russell Luday, one of your mentors, earned his degrees. Yes, degrees, because he has a BS in chemistry and a BS in biology. BS meaning Bachelor of Science. Now, I took this opportunity when he mentioned to me that this celebration, closing ceremony was going to take place, to come here to tell you that I certainly congratulate you for the work you have done, and to say that I certainly hope you will continue to deploy the effort needed in order to become excellent whatever you are doing, whatever subject you decide to study. Let me take a few minutes to tell you about a law known as the Power Law of Human Performance, and there is another extension of it called simply the Law of Human Performance. I'll tell you about this law because it says that effort is the way to lead somebody to excellence. Remember, this is already proven in the sport arena. We all know that. Those who practice the best generally have greater chances of winning championships. But similarly, I'm here to tell you that scientific law says that the same practice is what is the process for becoming excellent in any subject: mathematics, physics, chemistry, philosophy, or any other. Now, this law, if you look at the diagram representing it, you will see that on the left, you see the first red bar, which is the time it will take someone to do a problem solving, which is exercise, which is the case here. That is the time it will take. But the second red line is the time it will take the same person to execute this task the second time, meaning second time the same task is being practiced. Well, guess what? By the fifth time, the person will be executing this task and correctly in about a time which is 5 times faster, meaning shorter in this case, than all the long time it took in the first trial. Now, what is the lesson in here? The lesson is that practice renders perfect. To understand that if we do practice mathematics, physics, chemistry, philosophy, literature, English, you name it, medicine, why not, then we are going to be excellent in whatever topic it is we decide to study. Now, this law is also saying that every single one of you has all the brain capacity needed to earn the Nobel Prize in Physics. Yes, some of you may be tempted not to believe what I'm saying, but it's science which is talking. So, science says there is no known limit, in fact, to the degree to which you can be excellent in any of these specified disciplines. The question is, how well are you exposed to the material? How well do you study? How often do you practice? And how is the level you are studying at is increasing? These are the questions and the experiences you get thereafter. So let us keep this in mind, that when you do have difficulties in the subject, never think that it is a matter of not being intelligent enough. That's not it. It is most generally due to the fact that there is a background material you do not know, which makes it difficult to understand this material. So what you generally do is you go talk to a teacher, a colleague, a mentor, in order to find the material you need to learn those pieces that may be missing. Now, let me emphasize here that this particular point I talked about, if you systematically, day in, day out, study your lessons as they come, then you are going to find out that mathematics, for instance, is not a difficult subject. Physics is not a difficult subject. And similarly, any subject you will name is not at all difficult. Oh, but don't misunderstand me. Difficult does not mean you don't spend the time on it. What I'm trying to say, if you deploy the adequate time and practice as this law says, you will become excellent in any of those disciplines. All right? So having said that, let me add one more thing in order to assist you further in the learning, which is to remember what I just said, the critical thing about knowledge. Knowledge is not just a pile of information. Knowledge is organized information, linked information, connected information. What that means, therefore, we always have to remember that if we are studying mathematics, when we study lesson A, we skip B, and lesson C is likely to need lesson B, and of course C will be difficult simply because you have a gap in your knowledge base. Therefore, let's remember to always attend class, never to miss it, to do homework, including some we assign to ourselves. Why not? You are superior student, and therefore I expect you to do just that. So, having said that, let me add one more thing before I close. That one more thing has to do with another secret of learning. I stumbled on, meaning found out by accident, when I was in middle school. And that was, when I go to class, and I have a lesson, whether that's in history, in geography, in French, or because that's the language in which I study, then within 24 hours, meaning before the next day, I generally studied that lesson. And I found out that I didn't have to spend much time on the lesson to master it when I study it within 24 hours of the lesson. And sometimes I went close to 48 hours, but I almost never waited more than 2 days before I studied the lesson. And I always spent much less time on them. Now, keep in mind that there is, again, in every freshman psychology textbook around the country, you can go check one out tomorrow and figure it out. This curve called the first time information retention curve, meaning when you have a large amount of information for the first time, then within 48 hours, meaning 2 days, after 2 days, only about 25% is still correctly in your mind that you can recall correctly, properly, and use it. So what that means, therefore, you lost about 75%. Hence, the trick again in excelling in school is to study lessons as close to the lesson date as possible, meaning within 24 hours or within 48 hours. When you do it, you are going to find out that you will master your lessons very much, and they will stay with you much longer, and they will be integrated in other lessons coming, and you are going to find learning to be continue to be an enjoyable enterprise. That is the objective. And with that kind of practice, of course, you will become excellent in whatever subject you select. Keep in mind, science says, that law I talked about says that every single one of you has the brain capacity to earn the Nobel Prize in physics, or in chemistry, or in medicine. The question is not whether you have enough intelligence. The question is, if you are being exposed to the correct material, you are practicing seriously, doing exercises, learning more, and if you do that, as the law says, then you will become excellent in whatever it is you are doing. So I will not take more of your time because I only came to tell you congratulations, and I trust you will keep up the excellent work. I do salute, again, Mr. Russell Lede. I salute Dr. Marcus Lambert, and I salute those 29 graduate students and medical students who are serving as your mentor, assisting you, supporting you. And I trust in the future When you become excellent, because what you are going to become, you will also do the same thing for some future generation. Thank you very much for your attention. Congratulations again. But this time I didn't even say clear direction, but it's not needed.
But it's good. That was more empowering.
So I think you take the second one.
Yeah, second one good.
Yeah, take the second one.
Inspiration. Yeah.
Blow them all. Well, it's a lot of work. Well, practice. Give me that thing there. Yeah, I got it.
So we hear from you sometime tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am. I should.
I'll send you a
Yeah, I don't have any. Well, I always have homework, but it's not due tomorrow. So it's not due until Wednesday, the 3rd. Oh, okay, cool. So
just.
oh, okay. See, I don't. If it's